There we go. Can you hear us now? Hello, hello. Now, good. Sorry for that. All right, let's begin. We're new to Teams. We're usually using another service, but let's get going. Okay, 3 minutes late. Thank you for participating. I'm very happy to see so many people over here. Today, I'm going to show you how you can design smarter scaffolds in less time. I am Victor from Scaffcalc, and today's webinar is all about that one thing, designing scaffolding faster without sacrificing quality. You will see a full project built in real time with tools built specifically for people in the scaffolding industry. Together with me today, I have David, who will be helping you answering questions in the chat or in the Q&A. Please use that as much as you want. He will go through it, and he can also mention to me if there's something I should bring up during the demo session. Okay, let's jump on. So, scaffold design today can look a little bit like this, something from the 90s. Imagine someone calls asking for the price for covering their object in scaffolding, and now you're juggling Excel, screenshots, site visits, and lots of guesswork. And this can take hours, sometimes days, and you still feel unsure if you have given them the right offer in the end of the day. And as you know, the profit margins in scaffoldings are very, very tight, so you gotta be right on point. And this is what we want it to look like. So what if it looked like this instead? Imagine getting some time off for once, or at least being able to work remote now and then. But these sites visits are not making it easy to do this. So today we'll show you something that might make this more realistic, but you will still need your computer, however. What we actually need is not a bigger office table or a fancy CAD software. Some of you might using the different CAD softwares out there, which takes a little bit more time than just placing it like Lego. But we need clarity, something visual, fast, and reliable. And that's exactly what Scaffcalc is built to provide. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start really fast. We're going to make accurate dimensions. We're going to have a full and reliable material list and something visual for the client. That's the purpose of today's webinar. All right. So today we're going to build this live. And it's always interesting to build things live, but we've done this a few times now, so hopefully it will work well. And as I mentioned before, we're doing this in collaboration with MJ-Gerüst. So I'm going to show you the Scaffcalc screen here. Let's go back to the beginning. So this is the front of Scaffcalc. This is all web-based, so you don't have to download anything. I just click on New Scaffold here to go straight into the software. And as you can see, this is no plugin to any other CAD software. It's built entirely by us. We are a team of 10 engineers who is creating this full time. And we are very happy with what we have created so far. In the left column, you see the world. This is where all your components will be soon enough when we build something. Up in the top, you see all the tools we have. You have PDFs. You can actually find whatever PDF you have laying around. You can upload this into your work. There you go. So here's a simple blueprint of a project. Once we have that, we can add things like ground components. Maybe there's a slope on this side, making the ground levels unequal. We can use a simple tool like a rectangle to create the shape of this building. And I can pull it like this and like that. Very quickly now. I can raise this part to 20 meters and this part to, let's say, 12 meters. Adding a roof is super simple. I just press this button, I rotate it, and there we go. And since this is just a quote, I don't need to perfect all things with the balconies or whatnot. I can just press the auto scaffold, get the scaffolding very quickly around this building, hit enter, and there we go. So super quickly, I get the square meters of the scaffold, the cubic meters, and the weight. But as you can see, there are things lacking in the corners here. You can easily fix that by placing your regular base. And here's something smart I want to show you. So when we're over here, you can see that I need to put this one. You can see that this one is a little bit low, but if I pull it against the scaffold, it will automatically enlarge the size of it. So I place it right there, and I can take these different ones and just press it against that one. And now we have a corner. So that's very quickly what tools you have in Scaffcalc. I will show you an even faster way to make a quote without having to visit the site. Adding to that, perhaps you want to show your client that you have been thinking about these shops that's in the floor. You want to bridge with a beam or something. You can quickly add a comment over here. Press it right there. I write bridge over shop entrance. I click add, and there we have it. So whenever I want to say something to my coworkers or the client, I can do that. And this will be saved. Before jumping into the sweet bits of making this even faster, I will show you this public setting. So in Scaffcalc, we made it very, very easy for you to share your projects with your clients. And zooming in here, I can change the name also of the scaffold. Let's say client name. You can write whatever you want over here. Maybe I should spell our company name correctly. There we go. Once we feel happy with the draft, we press this save button and we head out of this project. Here you see a feedback form. This is super valuable for us. So whenever you do a project and you feel like, oh, I'm missing something, you can write it right here. Or if you need help with something, you can press good and write need help. And then our support team will help you as soon as we can. Now, this project has this comment right here. You can press it and you can see it in real time. Here we go. And you can comment with all of the coworkers you have can comment on the same project, so you can collaborate very easily. Okay, those were some of the tools we have in Scaffcalc. Now we're going to make a quote really, really fast without heading out to site. Starting with new scaffold again. As we mentioned, we want to start really quickly. No waiting for some software to launch or whatever. New scaffold. We head over to import from map. And here you go. You can see the city of Gothenburg. This is our headquarters. That's why we start in the city. I know there are a few people from Germany here. I saw some people from South America as well. That's fun. I'm just going to write Berlin here to see where we land. So this tool works in every city in the world, and you can find the buildings very, very quickly and put them into Scaffcalc. Let's pick this building. We can also pick buildings around this building just to make sure that we can place our material in the near site or so. I'll load this and I get it straight into Scaffcalc. So I didn't go out on site, and these ones are very accurate. The height can differ, but the blueprint of them are usually about 10 centimeters off or something. So using these, we press the auto scaffold again. And perhaps we just wanted to put up scaffold on 2 parts of this building. So we press this one, we turn around and we press these ones as well. That's all I needed. There we go. I'm happy with the result, and I press escape just to continue. But I got one too much. I don't want this one. I'll just get rid of it super quickly. But here, I want to patch this corner in another way. I just wanted to, I don't want to make this kind of square that takes up too much material, in my opinion. So what I do is I stand on top here. I bring out these ones. And I'll use another bay. I put up these different corner suggestions that I have. I'll pick this one. And the little pink dot here is where we will share the standards. And as you can see, it places it right there at the corner. I'll pull this to the side and I will release. With this tool, I can now place this right there. And I can bring the rest of this scaffolding right to this corner. There we go. So making these drafts and making some adjustments are really quick in Scaffcalc. Adding things like diagonals are also a very efficient thing. I will select two of my bays here. I will place diagonals on the outside here. Sorry, that was consoles. I will place diagonals instead on the outside. And also I want to add a stair, some kind of stair tower. And since that is 2.58, I need to create one of those here. I'll just minimize this a little bit, making it a bit shorter. And I'll place it right there. There we go. And Scaffcalc is pretty smart. It takes away the guardrails that were right there. So just illustrating this again, I pull this out. Now you can see it took away the guardrails over there to make it smooth for you. There we go. So David, do we have any questions in the chat, or should I continue with the demo?
You can continue. So far,
so good. All right. I will also now show you a few of our already made projects so you can see the complexity you can create. I'm heading over here to Scaffcalc Elevated, which is our main event that we host every quarter. I can find a few different flagship projects here. Here's a pretty cool airplane. You can hide some measurements here. And you can see that we can make freestanding scaffolds, platforms like this, quite quickly. And we can also create quite complex shapes in the tool as well. You can also upload IFC models if you get some IFC models from clients now and then. Moreover, you can create these kind of cylinders in the tool too. We got this MJ green color on the toe boards here. And here you can see that we patch the corners with pipes. And this is done automatically when you do a corner that's not 90-degree angle. If you do it slightly less or slightly more, you will get these patches. And as you can see, we also have the planks going over there. So it's automated. You don't have to think about that either. Seeing these load bays as well, loading bays, you can place them wherever you want on the scaffold. Heading back, you can see one of these bird cages. So when we started Scaffcalc, we only did facade scaffolding, but now we can also do industry scaffoldings. So some of you might be working in the industry now and then, so this could be for you. And what you can see here is I I can pick where I want all my diagonals. You can do it manually, or you can just automate it as well. You can just pick whatever you want and place the diagonals at each section. And I can dig a hole into my scaffold, creating pipe streets or these kind of chimneys or whatnot. And you can also quickly see the square meter, the cubic meters, and the weight of the scaffold. I'm pretty sure some of you would like the material list as well being automated, so that's something we did too. You can just click on material list down here and you get everything right there. You can export it as CSV, Excel, or PDF. Heading back, we have some larger projects right here. Here's some project we saw from one of our clients down the street. And it was a fun project because it's actually a scaffold that's partly built on top of the roof here. And this is also something that Scaffcalc does automatically for you. When you build on the side of the wall and then you go over a building, we automate the height of the base. I will quickly illustrate that too. So another question there, if you can have the material list in another language. Good question. Up here, you can see the language right there. So you can change it to these languages so far. We are always updating this, and whenever we get enough clients in one country, we try to collaborate with these companies to get the language correctly. So if you find ourselves in South America or somewhere else, we would definitely like help with changing the language to Spanish or Portuguese, or updating our lists, yeah, or French definitely. And I saw another question about anchors. Yes, we do have anchors as well, and you can pick whatever place you want for these anchors. I will quickly illustrate that in a new project.
In the meantime, can you edit and automate the material list?
Yeah, so editing an automated material list. We suggest you to download it as a CSV or an Excel file and do it your way. You can edit it by changing the components in the view. So maybe you want to take away a component, doing something like this. So what you see right here is exactly what you get in the material list. So taking away a few components, maybe getting rid of these, will update the material list. So that's a way to edit it. However, I understand that you might want to add things. That is something that you can do by exporting it as an Excel file. Furthermore, you can add consoles on the inner part, for instance. You can change the console width to whatever size you want. You can change the interval. Maybe you just want it on the highest part. I can show you what it looks like right now. Here you have the console. And I saw questions about anchorings. So the anchor positions, I can just place them on the inner part here or the outer, it's up to you. But that would be weird having it on the outer side. And you can see them right there. You can also change the interval of these anchorings. And now I'm going to show you a little insight of what's coming very, very soon. Scaffcalc started as a structural engineering program. So the old version we have lots of engineering built in. And we are redoing now. So this next update I will show you in a second will help you with all these things too. So if I press G here, you will see a graph that comes up like this. So we understand that, okay, you want to place anchorings here toward the wall. And if you get rid of different components, we understand that. So the structural engineering part will be automated too. So you don't have to care about that. So yeah, you can also get rid of different components if you'd like. In this case, I might not want the anchoring right here because it's a window in the way. I just get rid of him like that. Yes, David, am I missing something?
I have a question. How many material providers we have?
We have a few material providers and it's constantly updating. So over here in the settings bar, we have two different settings. You have the profile with the language and different light modes. And you have your setup for the suppliers. Over here, you have different suppliers. You have all of these. Maybe you can take a screenshot or you can read on our website too. You can pre-select the scaffolding supplier. So if you want to use more of them, Gerüst Combi and Optima, you can pick which one you would like to use most. Since when you're in the software, you want to quickly see, okay, when I click the bay, I want this specific material showing more often. You can also set favorite settings. So let's say you don't have any of the 0.15, you don't have any 4.14 or 4, get rid of them. Same goes for these standard lengths. So in Denmark, for instance, you can't use anything bigger than a 2-meter standard. So I want to get rid of everything else. And Scaffcalc will optimize this for you. Moreover, you can pick whatever pre-selected bay size you would like to be quicker and faster in the way you work. Quicker and faster is the same thing, it's just synonyms. There we go. So we're always trying to make this as efficient as possible for you, so you can spend time on more important things than just doing all the details. The wall distance, that's a great question. I'll show you quickly with a very simple house shape like this. I will stand on top. I will place myself over here. I take a bay. In Sweden, we always say a boot size from the wall, but you can change that to whatever distance you want, and it will snap like this. If you place 2 meters, just to illustrate, it will be over there. Or 0.2, it will land over there. And you can take away this so you can place it wherever you want. And just to illustrate how quickly you can do it from the side too, you can take one of these scaffolds and you can just drag it out like this. And here I accidentally placed the scaffold on top of the roof. I can show you what it looks like when you do that too. So it automatically lands on top of the building here, if I have it. There we go. Quick question. I saw something, but I didn't see it fully.
Yes. We have been using it since 2008 and asked if we plan to add additional MJ systems soon.
Yes, we are in contact with the MJ management team, and on Bauma they were really happy with our collaboration. So we'll see what's coming up. Could you elaborate that question? Internal.
Is it being constructed inside something or? Different way of doing it. So if you can't of it, please just elaborate a bit more than we can.
Yep.
Answer that.
And building things inside of things, you can model a roof upside down if you would like to. You can place it on top and you can build below it. So it's quite easy to do things like that too. And if you have a slope like this, you will see that the scaffold will change according to the height of this one. And that's the same thing with having a roof. The tool will see where the roof is, and we will change the level of the scaffold accordingly. Yeah, so I have a few new things I want to show you, and we can jump straight back to the questions soon. Heading back here to a few videos I want to show you. We've been working very hard with the upcoming features, and in short time you will see big updates coming too. So just heading back to the live demo here, what's in it for you, you might ask yourself. So faster quotes, that would mean more jobs probably. Better planning, you get fewer surprises. And clear visuals, it's easier to communicate with your client, and you can write the comments and you can comment before you start building when everything is planned already. Okay, so the things we have on the horizon. Since Scaffcalc started as a structural engineering program, we have that in mind at all times. So making this tool easy to use while giving you the power of an engineer is our vision. So in this video, I hope you can see video through this webinar. I'll show you what we're working on. So what you see here is a scaffold that has these load cases on it with a GEDA hoist, which is another collaboration. And now you can see all the forces applied here in a specific case. So what we do is we collect the wind data you have, the load classes, that differs from country to country, but we make sure that the scaffold is compliant to the regulations in the specific region you're in. And currently we are focusing on Eurocode for Europe. So here you get the structural analysis for things like the anchorings and the leg loads, as well as the hoist. So the collaboration with GEDA, some of you might be familiar with the GEDA Central, where you give them your data and you get calculation. So we are basically integrating that into Scaffcalc too. In this video, I'm showing you how quickly you can build with a hoist as well. So placing scaffolds around with the auto tool, creating a corner over there, and then placing an elevator over here. Sorry. I want to pause here in the end because jumping around a lot. There we go. Let's find this one. Yeah, over here you can see on the side here, it's very similar to GEDA Central, in which you place the hoist as well as where you want to anchor the hoist and how big the size of the hoist. And this is what it looks like. So onwards. We have been doing this for about 5 years. We mainly have customers in Sweden, Norway, or the Nordics, as well as Germany and the Netherlands, as well as Belgium. But we are always open to more conversations. So if you're from some other region, please reach out and we can see what we can do for you. So you can always use the QR code down there if you want to scan it. and you can book a demo, a live demo with one of our team members, and you can go through whatever challenges you have in your company, and we can see if this would be valuable for you or not. We have training digitally. So what we help you with is Scaffcalc Academy. It's an online service. You can check it out right now. It's totally open on YouTube, and you can see all the details, how to start and how to get further. We are still creating more of these videos. It takes a lot of time to make them good. So bear with us while we create more complex things as well. But you will learn very quickly with these videos. The next event we have, when we're going to show some very big updates, is May 27th at 3 o'clock, the same time as now. We will be sending out emails with more information about this very soon, and it will be different from this one. It will be more feature-oriented and with bigger updates as well. So that was it for this short but sweet webinar. We're going to have more of these, and please don't hesitate to reach out to us and send us questions with whatever you wanted to see in the next live seminars. I will also be continue to answer questions if you have them here in the chat. But for now, I thank you all for being here and listening to this webinar. Thank you so much. And now, David, please shoot some questions.
Yes. Clothing. Are you able to put the scaffolding in clothing?
Yeah, netting, clothing, plastic, yes. So you can always dress your scaffolding in the material you would like. And this will, of course, manipulate the winds coming or for the structural analysis. So yeah, plastic, wrapping, all these things are possible to do, yes.
Now we have another question that makes balconies. So it essentially asks, how can you build balconies and how do you build around them? This question relates to, can I build a scaffolding on the side of one and continue to scaffolding on top of the balcony?
Yeah, so making a balcony, there are different ways of doing this, but I can just create a simple square here and I can make it way shorter. So this obstacle could be a balcony. You can be very precise with the balconies too. I can show you a project in which we have like an entrance and balconies on the side. But if you would pull scaffolding around this, it will act in one way, perhaps not the way you would like, but you can always change that in other ways. So here we go straight through it. But if you would like to change that, we can do this. I'll place this a little bit further away, and this is what will happen. So it will understand that it's an obstacle, but you need to do a few things to make it perfect, like adding specific components with the component by component feature. Yes.
Second question is, what is your approach on erecting a scaffolding on narrow alleys? Can you maybe showcase one board scaffoldings?
Yes, so that would depend on the supplier, I assume. If we would pick a very, very narrow part here instead, we could pick the 042. But when I've been around in like Spain and I see scaffolding, it's like one standard instead of two, it's one standard, and then you widen the scaffolding higher up. That is something it's possible to do, but it's not that intuitive. But if you would make a shorter one, or sorry, a more narrow one, you could do it like this. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question here. This is a two. These are two. You were asking for one.
Yes, but I think the general question is if you can make it narrower.
Okay. Yeah, so that is totally depending on your supplier. So we try to include everything that's in the supplier's manuals. So if you find something that's lacking, please contact us and we'll have a look.
Great question. We get a lot of questions about that case. It seems to be always come up.
Yep.
Another good question from Daniel is about, will you have any webinars soon regarding structural calculations? It's the first one, and regarding that, he asks about how the structural analysis works. If it is non-linear, taking eccentrics and couplers/rosettes play into account. Example, having initial skew on the whole structure.
Yeah, so the first question, if we want to do more structural analysis webinars, yes, we've done it in the past and it was very appreciated. We have 2 engineers sitting right behind me here. They do lots of consultation work as well for very complex structures. So that is something we do occasionally too. I'll make sure to invite you all to these webinars as well. They are more niched because not everyone are interested in structural engineering, but we are. So yeah, we'll invite you. Regarding what type of math we do or the type of structural analysis we do, we use the finite element method in our calculations, and we can dig deeper into that in a separate meeting with you if you would like. So you can reach out to us and we'll include you with engineers.
Mute for you, Dr. Nazara, if you would like to ask your questions. Otherwise, you can write it in the chat. I think we will continue on in the chat. In the meantime, do you have already a scaffold system or brand with metric dimensions?
Yes, we do. If I remember correctly, the period up is metric, isn't it? The +8 and super 9 are metric. Let's just see so I don't switch to period up. Here we go. Yes, metric. So yeah, they exist. Different ones, yeah.
Is the software applicable for offshore oil platforms, including hanging scaffold?
No, no hanging scaffolds. But it's interesting. We would definitely like to help out in that sector too in the future. So it really depends on the system you're using. If you're using a modular scaffolding system that works on your oil platforms, we have customers using it for oil platforms. You can use very wide ones like 257 times 257. That's something I know that you're using a lot on those platforms, and you can upload your IFC model and do things over there. But it depends on your specific case. If you can send us a project or something, we can have a look at it and see if it would work in the software. But hanging scaffolds are nothing we have been focusing on so far. We're focusing on the 80% of the more less complex projects, and then we help out with the rest of the 20% with our engineers.
Great, and thank you for the question. And we have a question from Toby. What option is available when the scaffolding supplier is not listed in your app?
The options available when the supplier isn't listed in our app. So the best way to include your supplier in the software is to reach out to us and then reach out to your supplier and try to convince them that this is a tool you would like. Because when we are developing Scaffcalc, we are focusing on making the best product there is. And using the suppliers that is in Europe is the ones we have focused on. If another supplier would open up another market and perhaps you can help us get in contact with them, that's the easiest way to do it.
Scaffolding for roof works with canopy of 1 meter with console. Can you make it automatically?
Okay, so not sure if I understand the question correctly, but you making like a only top level scaffolding?
Could be, or the question relates to having consoles automatically.
Okay.
But it could also be the top one. If you were lights together, it would be great.
Yeah, so I can show you what you can do with the auto scaffold. So getting rid of the balcony here, pressing auto scaffold, you can change here to console position in there, and then the scaffold will expand a little bit, and then you change the console to, in this particular supplier, we have 0.75 as the widest. And then maybe we just have it on top level. So that would change it to top level only. Let's see which one I used. So this, as I mentioned, depends on the supplier too. We go console inner and wider as well as top level. So yeah, you can automate the settings for just the auto scaffold. That's possible.
Hopefully that answers your questions, and otherwise just shoot us a message. A good question.
Yeah.
And we have another one regarding a quick question about selecting a building directly from a map. Does this feature also work in Greece?
Selecting a building from map in Greece. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it works. So that's right, Athens. Not sure about the islands you have, because it works better in bigger cities because the map is more updated. And oh, Athens in Georgia. See if we can find Greece instead. There we go. Yeah, I thought it was too few buildings. We go. Let's find some cool project over here. Maybe some old antique building. But yeah, the answer is yes, it works over here too. On the islands, not very sure. But let's see. There are a few buildings over here too. But I'd say the bigger the city, the better. Yep.
We have Dr. Natsama still here with the hand raised. I think not.
No.
Any other questions that relates to what Victor showed today? We have maybe a passage bay, or if you're working with a building with overhang, something like that. It's usually we get one of those questions quite easily. But yeah, just send a message in the chat if there's something you're wondering about.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in this Wednesday. And we're happy that MJ-Gerüst wanted to collaborate with us on this one. And as we mentioned, you're always welcome to reach out to us, and we'll see you in the next webinar. As you can see on the screen now, you have the QR code. You can scan that if you want a live demo with us, and you can pick either a German-speaking person or an English-speaking person. Unfortunately, my Spanish is very bad. Otherwise, I would have helped you out in that language too. Okay, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.